Alarms scream through my cockpit before I even understand what my sensors are showing me. My hands freeze over the controls. The proximity warning is not supposed to trigger here. Nothing is supposed to be here. I am inside the forbidden zone, a place every pilot in the Concordat is taught to avoid from the day they first sit in a cockpit. And something enormous has just appeared on my scanner, sitting silently in the dark like it has been waiting for me. My name is Vexthara Olnis, and I am a scout pilot for the Concordat's Outer Survey Division. My orders were simple: fly the borderline, check the old warning buoys, turn back before the edge of the zone. I was not supposed to cross that edge, but my navigation drifted, just slightly, chasing a strange signal that should not exist in empty space. And now, I am staring at a shape so large it blocks out the stars behind it. My breath catches in my throat. The ship is not moving. No lights, no signals, no trace of engines burning. It looks dead, but something about it feels the opposite of dead. It feels like it is sleeping, and I am the one who just walked into the room uninvited. I should turn around right now. Every instinct built into me by years of training tells me to reverse thrust and get out of this sector before whatever destroyed every ship that ever entered this place finds me too. But my hands do not move to the controls. Instead, I lean forward, staring at the shape through my viewport, and I feel something pulling at me that is stronger than fear. Curiosity has always been my weakness, and right now, it is winning. I bring my scout ship closer, inch by careful inch, scanning every meter of the giant hull. It is nothing like Concordat design. Our ships are smooth, curved, elegant, like flowing water. This thing is blunt, heavy, built with straight edges and thick plates, like it was made by someone who cared only about function and never once thought about beauty. And yet there is something oddly powerful about its ugliness. It looks like it was built to survive anything. As I drift alongside it, my scanner picks up markings etched into the metal. My translator struggles for a moment, then resolves the symbols into letters I recognize from old Concordat archives. Human letters. My hands tighten on the controls. Humans are supposed to be gone. Extinct. A footnote in our history texts. A species that vanished thousands of years ago during some ancient catastrophe nobody fully understands anymore. I should report this immediately. Instead, I find myself guiding my ship toward a docking port that, impossibly, begins to glow with a soft light the moment my hull gets close. It is inviting me in. My pulse pounds in my ears as the port opens on its own. No code required, no resistance. Like the ship has been waiting for someone, anyone, to finally arrive. I dock. My hands are shaking as I seal my suit and step through the connecting tube into the enormous vessel. The corridor beyond is dark, but the moment my boots touch the floor, lights flicker on ahead of me, one section at a time, as if the ship is waking up just enough to guide my path forward. I walk slowly, my breath loud inside my helmet, every muscle in my body ready to run. The corridor opens into a massive chamber, and in the center of it stands a tall structure covered in dim blue light. A voice speaks, not through the air, but directly through my suit's communication system, calm and steady, as if it has rehearsed this moment for centuries. Welcome, traveler. You are the first visitor in a very long time. I stumble back a step, my hand instinctively going toward my weapon, but the voice continues before I can respond. But you do not need to be afraid. This vessel poses no threat to you. I am the archive core of this ship, and I have been waiting for someone to find us. My throat feels dry as I force out a question. Waiting for what? Waiting for who? For someone willing to listen, the voice answers. For a long time, no one came close enough. The warnings kept everyone away. That was the intention. I ask the question that has haunted every Concordat citizen for generations. What happened to the humans? Where did you all go? There is a pause, long enough that I wonder if the system has shut down again. Then images begin to form around me, light projected into the air, showing me things I never expected to see. I see human faces, Hundreds of them, standing together in vast control rooms, working side by side with a kind of desperate unity I have never witnessed among my own people. I see battles, not shown in gruesome detail, but suggested through flashes of light and the sound of alarms, showing a war fought against something ancient and enormous, something whose name has been erased from every record I have ever studied. The voice explains, and I listen without moving. Long before your Concordat existed, there was a great danger moving through this part of the galaxy, consuming everything in its path. Every species that stood against it was destroyed or scattered. Humanity chose to stand and fight when almost no one else would. The cost was greater than you can imagine. I watched the images shift, showing human ships forming a wall across open space, holding a line that nothing else could hold. The voice continues, quieter now. We stopped it, but the fight changed us. It showed every other species in this galaxy exactly what humanity was capable of when pushed far enough, and that frightened them more than the enemy ever did. So humanity made a choice. We withdrew. We sealed ourselves away in this zone, not because we were defeated, but because we decided the galaxy needed peace more than it needed to fear us. My mind struggles to accept what I am hearing. Everything I was taught said humans vanished, wiped out by their own foolishness, a warning story told to children about the dangers of overreaching. Instead, I am standing inside proof that humanity chose silence, not as a punishment, but as a gift to everyone else. I ask why the ship is still here, still powered, still waiting after all this time. The voice answers gently, because someone needed to remember. A species cannot simply disappear without leaving a witness behind. I was built to wait, to watch, and to speak the truth to whoever proved brave enough, or curious enough, to come looking. I think about every warning beacon along the border of this zone, every story meant to keep pilots like me far away, and I realize now that those warnings were never meant to protect us from a monster. They were meant to protect a memory, to give humanity the space it asked for, after giving everything it had. The voice speaks again, and this time, there is something different in its tone, something almost hopeful. Not all of us are gone, traveler. Some chose paths beyond this zone, scattered quietly among the stars, watching, waiting, living lives no different from anyone else. They carry no mark that would reveal them. They simply live, unnoticed, among the very species who fear the name they left behind. My heart races at the thought. Humans might already be out there, walking among Concordat citizens, unrecognized, hidden in plain sight, choosing silence the same way this ship has chosen silence for centuries. I ask one final question before my time begins to run short. Why show me all of this? Why now? Because you came, the voice replies simply. Because you did not run when every instinct told you to. That is rare. That is worth trusting. Then the light around me shifts, and I feel a surge of information pouring into my ship's systems through the docking connection, a massive transmission of history, records, and truth, compressed into a single burst of data. The voice tells me this is a copy of everything the ship holds, humanity's full story, meant to be carried back into the galaxy at last, now that someone worthy has arrived to carry it. I do not fully understand why I am the one chosen for this moment, but I feel the weight of it settle over me as I return to my scout ship, sealing the docking tube behind me. As I pull away from the massive vessel, its lights dim once more, returning to its silent sleep, patient as ever, content to wait for whatever comes next. I break every protocol on my return flight. Instead of reporting a routine patrol, I transmit the recording across every channel available to me, letting the truth spread before anyone in command can silence it. Within hours, the story reaches command stations across the sector. Within days, it reaches the wider Concordat itself. Species that once told stories about a foolish, extinct species now sit with the uncomfortable truth that humanity did not vanish through weakness. It withdrew through strength, choosing restraint over dominance, choosing silence over fear. I do not know what will happen next. I do not know if the scattered humans mentioned by that ancient voice will ever step forward, or if they will continue living quietly among us, watching the ripples their history creates. But I know this discovery has already begun to change how every species in this galaxy sees strength, sees sacrifice, and sees the quiet courage of choosing peace after having every reason to choose otherwise. Before I left that ship, I took one small fragment of its outer hull, a piece no larger than my palm, dark metal etched faintly with a single human letter. I keep it with me now, a reminder of the day I flew into the Forbidden Zone expecting death, and found something far greater instead. A galaxy's greatest silence, I have learned, was never empty. It was chosen, carried, and protected by a species willing to disappear, so the rest of us could finally breathe easy under the stars.